welcome back to another episode. And here in this video I'll be teaching you about idioms and phrases. So I will be explaining you about the idioms with some funny and interesting meanings. Though what are idioms? Idioms are phrases wherein you will not get an idea of an exact meaning to it. So what are idioms? Idioms are phrases wherein you do not get to know the meaning immediately or very easily. For example, how can I say, like adding fuel to the fire doesn't mean you're actually adding fuel to the fire. It has a completely different meaning. So in that case, I have picked few idioms of oftenly used, wherein we commonly use day to day in our day to day life, and I'll be explaining you the meaning with very funny and interesting way. So I'll be explaining you the meaning of all these idioms which are often used in our day-to-day life with more interesting and funnier way, like giving examples of whatever we do in our day-to-day life. So what are idioms? Again, if you want to know in Hindi, we call it as muhavra. तो मुहावरा को सॉल्व करो ऐसा कहते हैं. So same like that in English we call it as idiom. In general, the meaning of to break the ice means to actually start or initiate an awkward situation or an awkward silence, when there is completely an silence and the people or any of two person are not talking. One has to initiate or one has to start. For example, what I did just now was like I was like waiting for someone to talk, but okay, we all were silent. So I had to break the ice. Doesn't mean I have to literally take the ice and break it. Well, so I can give you a very good example in real life. For example, couples, let's take it as they go on a date and we have met a guy or a girl for the first time, and we don't know much about them, or maybe we are very shy, maybe we are very silent, we don't talk much. And if both of them are of same kind and they don't talk, it's kind of awkward situation for both of them. And that moment, if anyone taking an initiation, that moment if any one person is taking an initiative and talking, that means breaking the ice. So I hope you understood the meaning. So here so here, to break the ice literally means to start a conversation or break the awkward silence. So hope you understood. If you don't understand, next time you hear this idiom, just remember the date thing I was talking about. It's very simple to remember. Well, after breaking the ice, let's move on to the next one, that is to bear the brunt of. So what does it mean? To bear the brunt of literally means to suffer the worst part of unpleasant or problematic situation. So here we can take an example of, okay, so how many of you guys actually ride bike, or girls, maybe guys or girls? I do ride, I love it. So in the same way, whenever, if in case we are going, sorry, it's a bad example, but I'll also give us good ones. So whenever, if in case we meet with an accident, what happens? With a bike, okay, fine, cool, both of them get hurt. But what if it is some lorry, bus or car with heavier vehicle? It's always the person with two-wheeler or with the bike has to bear the brunt of the situation. So it's always you or us who have to face the major problems coming across. And also the good example I can give you is, for example, if you are the eldest kid to your family, so like your mom or dad, they're actually shouting at the younger ones, your turn is the next. No matter how much ever the wrong things or the wrong stuff or the stupid stuff your younger ones has done, but at the end of the day, it is always the eldest kid who gets beaten up or gets scolded out. Okay, so to bear the brunt of means facing an unpleasant or a problematic situation in a larger portion. Well, after bearing the brunt of your father, what next? You bask in the sunshine of your mother. So we are heading towards the fourth one, to bask in the sunshine of. That literally means to enjoy the favor or good graces of. So here we take the same example and continue with the same thing. So after you bear the brunt of your father, like he scolds you or he completely taunts you or maybe beats you up, your mother interferes, and she keeps consoling you or pampers you or show all that love and affection. So that literally means you are actually basking in the sunshine of your mother. So someone who's showing you too much of love, affection is called as bask the sunshine of whosoever it is. So moving on to the next one. Before that, okay, fine. Let me tell you the clothes which I am wearing. Maybe a lot of you might be thinking, okay, she is maybe looking good or whatever it is. Fine. For myself, I look good, and I always go to saloon to get my spa done. That too, Lakme or Vela or such kind. And I wear only Zara clothes, and I eat only particular restaurants. Guys, I really don't like these cheap things. Okay, what am I talking? So you might be thinking, what am I talking? Well, so have you met a friend, or you already have a friend who keeps boasting about themselves, or the the person who always talks about themselves or brags about themselves, and they just don't care about what people are talking to them? So well, that is nothing but what we call it as to blow one's own trumpet, or to blow my own trumpet. So I love talking about. So this is what we call as to blow one's own trumpet, when somebody is just bragging or talking about themselves and making them a priority over somebody else. Coming to the next one, so I would like to ask you this question, very interesting question. How many of you have watched the recent match, the World Cup match between Pakistan and India? And the match was interesting. Some say the match was little disappointing. Some say because it was an easy match. Some say, and quite a lot of things like that. But what the important thing here is, so how many of you actually thought India would lose? So that's a funny thing to actually think of. It's like a nightmare to us, and it's like a daydream to the Pakistani people, because till date, to any of the matches happened in the World Cup, Pakistan always bites the dust whenever it has fought against India. So here I'm talking about the next one, that is to bite the dust, which means to suffer a defeat. So Pakistani team, they will, and it will be keep on going until the match goes on for the generations. They have never, okay, till date, Pakistan has always lost whenever it has played against India in the World Cup matches. So here we can say Pakistan team has always bitten the dust against India to suffer a defeat. So hope you remember this example whenever next time you hear the word bite the dust. So I must say, whoever has chosen the Pakistani team or the team players, I must say you have actually backed the wrong horse. So right, what I'm talking about, the next one is to back the wrong horse, which means to support a person or action which is later unsuccessful. So this literally means, very simple way, to actually choose something or support something which is later on is unsuccessful, like the team Pakistan. I'm so sorry about that. Or maybe you are taking, or when you're going for a race and you choose a wrong horse, or you put all your money on a wrong horse. So that is what, nothing but to back the wrong horse. Moving to the next one, right on the top, to add fuel to the flames. So this is the most commonly used and very famous idioms which we use in our day-to-day life, which means to make a bad situation worse. So here I can give an example. When the younger one bears the brunt of father, the elder one adds fuel to the flame. So whenever there is situation we are faced, for example, being a elder child, my father is telling something or screwing me up really bad, and the younger ones actually putting the pin, we call it, like fitting, we tell it, like for example, he says like, no, She actually broke this also last week. She did not go to the college. She bunked the college. I saw her with some other guy. So this all usually do the younger kids do it, or the younger siblings do it. So this is the best example to say that to add the fuel to the don't add the fuel to the flames. Well, so whenever next time when you see a situation is getting bad, don't worsen it. Don't add more fuel to the flame is what the real meaning of it. Next one is to bark at the moon. That means, okay, I'll tell the meaning later, but have you actually watched any dogs literally shouting or barking or making that noise? Ooh, kind of. I'm sorry, I'm being sarcastic or funny or maybe which I'm not able to. Well, so when you have seen such kind of situations or moment, what do you actually think? Are they trying to talk to the moon and something conversation between them? Okay, no, nothing like that. So the meaning of to bark at the moon means to make appeals in vain, which goes in vain. So for example, a best example I'll tell you which you can really relate it. For example, you're working of course all of my age. So you always go to your boss and say, boss, listen, I've been working for so many years and you're still not increasing my salary. Please do increase my salary. How many times or how many of you have actually done? Maybe me also sometimes. Yeah, but listen to me, he will not do that. He will just throw you out of the office and he will get one more a good employee or maybe a bad employee for the same salary or maybe lesser than what you earn. So this is what the best example I could give. And also sometimes you are actually, if you're in a real life situations, you're going and telling a person about something where and he's not ready to listen to you. How much ever you say, or maybe a fight between a girlfriend and boyfriend, and you're a best friend of your girlfriend and you say like your boyfriend is not great guy, you should leave him. She will not listen to you. Come on, why would she? She's in love with the boyfriend no matter how much ever bad he is. So it is like you are actually barking at the moon. Whatever you say, they will not listen, and all your appeals go in vain. So whenever, yeah, so as simple as that. So making an appeal which is actually of no use to the person is called to bark at the moon. Moving on to the next one is to bell the cat. So have you heard of this? I'm quite sure you might have somewhere, when people talk about it. So the meaning of this is to perform a very dangerous or a very risky task. So meaning is very simple. To bell the cat means to actually go or perform the risky task. I'll give you a best example regarding, we'll take a cricket match. For example, now we have left with 10 balls and we have to make 40 runs. And we have only left with the 11th player is going to play. So we can phrase the sentence like the 11th player has to bell the cat. Means someone has to take the risk to actually score 40 in 10 balls. So here you got the meaning like to perform a very dangerous or a difficult task. Like we know it's maybe impossible, but we have to make it. We don't have any other way or any other go. So this guy has to do it. So that is what it is called as bell the cat. So our last and the 10th one, sorry for going really random because this is the way you actually understand. So for the last one for today's video is to call it a day, which means to stop something or to cancel any of the plans which is actually being in process. So something you have already started with and you're gonna end that. That means we phrase it as let's call it a day, or you can also use it as let's call off when you're actually cancelling the plan, when you're cancelling something which you're doing it. So but the better way to use it is to call it a day. So here when I'm giving the example of a match, so India-Pakistan match is going on and of course very unfortunate the rain is, so due to the rain the match was called off. Another best example is to use this phrase is a person after 2 heart attacks, he called it a day and gets retired. So that means like the person after 2 heart attacks, he stopped working and got retired. So this is a very simple basic meaning. So whenever something you want to say or you just want to stop in between, just say let's call it a day or let's call off. Well, so it's time for me to call off, and I really enjoyed. I love idioms because there's lots and lots to learn, and you can actually use all this, whatever you have learned or whatever you have understood. I hope you have understood, and they are very important. When you start using it, only then you'll be able to imply or maybe able to understand better. So start using from today and also teach your friends, or maybe you can read lots of books also regarding this. And I really enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you until next time with our next concept or in next video.